I thought he did a good job. I mean, obviously, I haven't got to see the tape yet, but for the most part, man, he's getting better every day, and that's all you can ask for with a young guy.
First team period going deep, I think 7 out of the 8 times you did that, but checked out Hollywood in between. Just how would you assess that deep route and how it's just formulated with all those guys?
Yeah, it's getting better and better. Obviously, we missed on some today. We've hit on some earlier in camp, but that's what we're doing it for. We're out here to practice, try to shoot the ball down the field. But going against one of, not the best defense in the National Football Leagues with Spags in them. And so I thought guys have done a great job of building, and we'll continue to get better and better with building chemistry as camp goes on.
With Remigio, you got to know him a little bit now. What is it, some of the coaches have been saying that they're rooting for him. What's it like? What's it working with him that makes him one of those guys that you want to root for?
Yeah, he just works extremely hard. He's always asking the right questions, always wants to get extra work. And that's what you want is true pro. And so he just comes to work every single day with a smile on his face. He wants to work hard and get better and better. And it's not like he's going out there and hating on someone else, man. He wants everybody to get better with him. And I think that's why everybody loves him in that room. And he's seen the positive signs coming every single day, and he continues to get better.
Patrick, great players use things that are, around just as motivation.
Yeah.
I know you've probably seen the video of the Raiders with the Muppet of you. Is that something that you kind of compartmentalize when you use it when you get ready to play them?
Yeah, I mean, it's still early in the year. Kind of stuff like that happens. It'll get handled when it gets handled.
Patrick, do a ton of people send that to you to make sure you're aware of it?
Not really, honestly. Everybody kind of just lets me play. I mean, they know how I am, so they don't need to send me anything to keep me motivated.
What have you seen just from what stands out about the wide receiver group overall, and specifically getting Hollywood Brown out here in the first?
Yeah, I think what impressed me so much about Hollywood is everybody told me he was a fast guy, but no one told me like how much he can actually do on the football field, and you can see it. I mean, he can run those over the middle routes, he can run really good routes, and he can run deep. It's not like fast is the only thing that he can do, and you've seen that really transpire over these last few days of practice, and he keeps getting better and better. And as well as the other receivers, you just see the speed that we have and how it's opening up everybody. And then even seeing Rasheed and how he's kind of taking that next step. I mean, it's a great group that all mesh well together. And so I'm excited for their future because, the sky is the limit.
What is the progress you've seen so far with Rasheed? Just maybe even working him more, obviously downfield, knowing he's such a good guy running after the catch.
Yeah, I know. It's he was making that progress at the end of last year. And I think you saw that in the playoffs. And now he's just continued to get better and better. I think he came into camp this year even in better shape. You've been able to see how much explosion he has catching the football down the field. And then obviously when he catches the football underneath, he's getting upfield fast. And I think it's going to help him a ton, just like it's going to help Trav, having those speed guys stretching the field, and then they can really work in that intermediate, medium range, and then they can catch the ball and get yak after.
Something that you saw that he worked on in the offseason was his route tree and being able to stretch the field?
Yeah, I mean, him and Hollywood it's like they're just together all the time. And so you always see those videos of them working out. That's not even all. I mean, they're always together. They're always working on routes. They push each other to be great. It's been cool to see his game evolve, being around another vet receiver like that. And I'm excited for him, man. I mean, he's taking ownership of kind of being that older. I mean, he's only 1 year late, but being one of the older guys in that room with all these young guys coming in with the most experience. And so I'm excited for him to get out there and kind of show what he's truly capable of.
Patrick, a couple seasons ago when the wide receiver position went through a transition after the departure of Tyreek Hill, you had mentioned your wide receivers were going to be like a committee type approach. What is your approach this year with this group that you have? Would you like to see one guy be that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be necessarily just one guy, but I think we got a lot of explosive guys that a lot of different guys are going to have big games, but it's going to be the same few guys that are going to be those lead candidates with other guys that will step in and make plays happen. Obviously, we got Trav. Rasheed's going to be another guy that works over the middle. And then I think Hollywood's going to do a great job of that. And then obviously with Xavier, I think as the season goes on, he's going to get even better and better. And you can already see the talent. I mean, y'all saw the catch. Obviously, that went viral. But just running routes and doing all different type of stuff. Another guy that's not just a speed guy, but someone that plays tough, runs great routes. And so he did a great job of getting a lot of great receivers in there. And I don't think it's going to be hard for teams to kind of game plan one guy because we have a lot of guys that can go out there and have big games.
It is early, but how's the defensive secondary playing you guys? How are they playing so far?
They're playing good. Obviously, I think at the beginning when you have no pads and we have a lot of fast guys, we surprised them a little bit with the speed that we had. But, I mean, they adjusted well. And as the pads come on, they're being a little bit more physical, and that's what we want. I mean, we want to play against the best, and that's what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. And I mean, Trent, man's good. That man's really good. And I try him. I always tell him I'm going to try him like once or twice a day. And y'all seen he's got me a couple of times, and I've gotten over him. But that's what makes great players great players.
We'll go across and go by.
Patrick, what has stood out to you about Bobby Witt's emergence these last few weeks, particularly?
Yeah, I haven't really talked to Bobby about this a lot, but it seems like every year he kind of starts playing better at this time of the year and finishes really strong. And I've always thought, I'm like, what if he just starts fast and then see what happens? And that's what he did this year. And I think he's always had this stretch where he kind of goes run, but this is even another level. And so I love how he's led those guys. I mean, it's fun to watch those guys play. I think that's a cool thing, is that you can go to the K and watch a team that loves baseball, plays hard every single day, and loves each other and all friends. And it's cool to see on a baseball field.
Do you see any kind of parallel in what you've done for the Chiefs with what maybe he hopes to do, or is trying to bring to the world?
I see the mindset. I mean, just from talking to Bobby and the little conversations that I have, and I text him every once in a while, he wants to be great, and he wants to be great here, and he wants to take Kansas City to the top. And I mean, he knows the tradition that they've had in 2015 winning the World Series, and he wants to get back there. And in football, I got brought into a great situation. He had to kind of grow up with these guys, and I think it's been cool to see all those guys grow together and kind of put their stamp on the game this year.
We'll go last three: Steven, BJ, and Nick. Go, Steven.
Patrick, you said you brought a TV up here. One of the reasons was to play college football 25.
Yeah.
How much have you played, and have you led Texas Tech to a national championship yet?
No, we didn't win the national championship in year one. I'm in year two now. I chose 4-star because I had to be realistic. I couldn't do a 5-star, and it took me a while to become the starter, but we got a nice bowl win against Florida, and now we're in our second season. We actually have a big game against Kansas State tonight. Felix, I don't know if Felix knows. I got a big game against Kansas State on my road to glory. Sorry in advance.
Patrick, in the run game, I mean, we see a running power, a mix of stretch, toss, and everything. Just what's the goal for the run game this year?
Yeah, the goal is to even improve on what they did last year. I mean, we have a lot of great players on the offensive line, and obviously a great running back with Isaiah, and a great running back room with Clyde coming in, and then all this competition that we have. And I think it's to improve on what we did last year, keep making those steps in the right direction, and then hopefully if we can get the pass game stretching the field, downfield even more, it'll improve the run game. That's what's going to make us a great offense, hopefully.
Last one, Nick. Yeah, Patrick, with the new guys, Worley, Wiley, and Brown, all that.
Yeah.
How do you approach getting them to see the field the same way you are?
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot of reps, a lot of meetings. I mean, that's with everybody, and especially with those new guys. And I just liked how they work. They've worked so far. I mean, those guys we talked to the meetings the right way. After every rep, you see me talking to those guys on the sideline, and we're getting on the same page. And all those guys have made stuff happen. You've seen Wiley make plays, you've seen Worthy make plays, and obviously you've seen Hollywood make plays. And I think it's going to be great to just incorporate those guys in the offense.
Okay, thanks, guys.